I didn't plan on coming back to Death Road to Canada, but when a friend casually joked that we should play a session since we hadn't touched a game in a few years, I figured, why not? After all, it was a great game with a ton of replay value, so what did we honestly have to lose? My first reaction was, what the hell happened? How is this game still getting massive updates nearly a decade after launch? And a trailer for a spiritual successor, Space Dingus? That's some serious dedication, and it's something that I can get behind. There's real love here for making content that players can enjoy for years, and that's not even mentioning the massive amount of community modded content. Death Road to Canada was and still is one of the best zombie survival action roguelikes out there. It is packed with endless possibilities, random encounters, rare characters, wild cameos, creative game modes, multiplayer, and brutally challenging night sieges and morale modifiers that can either save or destroy your runs. If you haven't taken the time to appreciate what this masterclass indie game has to offer, you are seriously missing out. So put down whatever you're playing for a moment, grab 3 friends, and go to town because this is a game you won't ever forget. There aren't really any major issues with the game itself, but of course some people will always find something to complain about. For us, we are talking about the Steam version, where multiplayer is handled through remote play, so you will need to invite a friend and then stream the game to them or be in the same room together. Everybody also needs to use their own controllers, otherwise the controls can get a bit messy. It's not really a big problem unless you are playing with somebody half across the world. In that case, desync issues might pop up. It's just something to keep in mind if you are planning on playing it online and you are playing on the PC version. Design-wise, what really sells the vibe of this game is not the gameplay itself, but rather the atmosphere that it exudes. So many zombie games are so dark, grim, and dare I say being too serious, but Death Road to Canada goes in the opposite direction. It is a very upbeat game full of energy and packed with high motivation vibes and comedy, doing the most silliest of things with your encounters if you meet the prerequisites. The chiptune rock soundtrack keeps you engaged and excited, making every run feel fresh and fun. You keep feeling motivated, enlightened even, and eager to see what weird encounters come next or the many different side effects of being super strong, very paranoid, or whatever mixture of modifiers you have applied to your current characters. It's a game that has a day and night cycle, so you're going to be scavenging for materials to survive, gathering food, medicine, fuel, and weapons. Planning is key. Over time, you will eventually unlock status effects and information for every new and existing character, helping you make the smart decisions about who should take on risks during events like keeping watch. Somebody might get injured, killed, or worse, you could lose all of your materials. The zombies, they're just a byproduct of the game. Sure, they'll eventually swarm out of control and add a ton of tension when you decide to either fend off a huge wave by yourself or try to make a quick break into a room stocked full of supplies and foods while rushing towards the exit. But normally worrying about them takes a backseat to the wild ride that you're going to be on. There are countless different ways a run can end or begin. Maybe you find the creepy clown on the side of the road. Well, you better keep him happy, or well, things can get really ugly. But as long as you make it to Canada, you have won the game, no matter the horrors the clown will bring to Canada, even if he is the only survivor. With over 80 unique characters you can find and pick up that can significantly impact the gameplay, like a literal god descending from the heavens, or Link from The Legend of Zelda and Elvis Presley chiming in with their obscene screaming, each and every encounter ramps up the fun. Each new character brings their own flair, and the way that they function based on their stats keeps everything fresh every time, no matter the mode that you have chosen. The game is pretty simple, but it becomes genuinely challenging when you start taking risks for the higher rewards. The more people you have with you, the easier some encounters get, sure, but they also burn through all of your resources faster, and there is a very high chance that somebody will eventually crack under the pressure and cause problems for the whole group. You might think an event is going to play out one way, only for it to go completely sideways, or turn out 10 times better than you could have ever expected. That unpredictability is what keeps you on the edge of your seat. While the AI for your teammates isn't great, let's be honest, this is definitely a game meant to be played with your friends. Otherwise, you are going to be stuck with AI characters that tend to throw the runs at the worst possible moments, like when you are getting cornered and need everybody to work together to blast through a wall of zombies to reach the exit. Instead of helping you, they will wander off, swing in the wrong direction, or waste valuable ammo prior to this moment if you have not been constantly setting up their commands. Playing with your friends or even people from the community removes that frustration and turns the chaos into coordinated and tense fun, especially in the pitch black situations. It shouldn't be too hard to decide if this game is for you, because Death Road to Canada is a very fun, comedy-driven game set in a similarly chaotic version of America after the apocalypse hits, where the only safe haven left is Canada, because we have somehow become an unstoppable war machine that nobody wants to mess with. It is a game that is packed with replay value, unlockable events, skills, characters, and a ton of community mods. It keeps finding new ways to surprise you even after dozens of runs. Honestly, I still find it strange that Death Road to Canada doesn't get more recognition. It's a very cheap game that is also fun, so what's not to love? If you're in the mood for some zombie slaying hijinks, it's well worth picking up whenever you've got some free time to spare.